How we doing, fellas? We having fun yet? Yeah, I know I haven't made a update in over a week. Oh well, poo happens. Merry Christmas! It's Christmas Day. It's around more than 20 past 9 on Christmas morning. Yay! Wanted to draft the other week, but didn't happen. I'd been up a good sized chunk of the night, and around 2:30 in the afternoon, on Friday before this past, I decided I should go down for a nap because I don't want to be driving home in the dead of the freaking night and wrap my car on the phone pole or something because I fell asleep at the wheel. That'd be bad. So, 2:30 in the afternoon, go down for a nap, figured maybe get like a 3-hour nap in. I set 3 alarms on my phone. 3 alarms, make sure I got up. And then I woke up. And I'm like, I didn't hear the alarms. It's already dark out. What time is it? I pick up my phone and I look at it and it's 11:30 at night. And I'm like, well, my plans for the night is shot. So yeah, that's why you didn't get an update the previous week. Poo happens. I got some feedback on the video I did on drafting theory. That was really nice to see. I mean, I like getting feedback. People want to see stuff. That's great. Hey. I'm up to almost 30 subscribers, 29 last I checked. That's nice. It's flattering. I bought out a friend's collection not long back. He didn't have a lot of stuff. Only paid like $75 for it, but he's got some stuff here, like a couple of a pair of strip mines. This says copyright 1998 on it, so it came from some sort of a promotional item or some sort of pre-constructed item. One of an original Antiquities, revised Badlands, which is actually in pretty decent shape too. A couple other things: a demonic tutor, or as I like to call it, kid in a candy store. A Sol ring. They make great trade fodder. Pretty badly warped and beat up Navinral's disc. A couple other things, Mox monkeys, etc., etc. So, anyways. That aside, I drafted last night. Was it last night or the other night? What's today? Sunday? It is Sunday. Okay, so I drafted Friday night. The other night. Hey. Try to get through this relatively quick, shall we? Yes. First draft. First draft of the night. Of course, we're doing Innistrad. This is a deck that had a lot of potential and it didn't really live up to it. Now, I got 3 Harvest Pyres. That was probably a little bit much. There were several times in the game where I found myself wishing that the Harvest Pyres were almost any other burn spell. Because, I'm exiling stuff from my graveyard for them. And there were times when I couldn't get cards into my graveyard fast enough to make them useful. It happens. Blazing Torch, that's a good removal card, good solid. 2 Silent Departures, a nice control card. A Runic Repetition, that's not bad at all. It lets me fetch a Silent Departure that I've already cast twice and pull it back to my hand. Really nice stuff there. 1 copy of Claustrophobia, it's a good creature control card. Traveler's Amulet for mana, fixing, tutoring, blah blah blah. A Dissipate for counter spell capacity. Forbidden Alchemy, I found actually works pretty well with the Harvest Pyres, because it throws 3 cards into my graveyard. Yay. An Inquisitor's Flail makes for a good creature pump if you have anything with an evasion ability, which, as you all know, I draft pretty highly. Feral Ridgewolves, it's a 1/2 trample with a weird alternative form of fire breathing. I have found that you throw an Inquisitor's Flail on them, and they can get pretty nasty. I mean, yeah, you'll probably lose the creature in the process, but you can do some funk with that. What was I going to say? Yeah, the first time I saw the Feral Ridgewolf Inquisitor's Flail combo, I was on the receiving end of it, so I found out firsthand just how nasty that can be. We're seeing a pair of Murderer Crows, that's very nice. Battleground Geist, a Lantern Spirit. Lantern Spirit's a really good card. Traitorous Blood. Now, here's something that gets funky. Here's a Stitcher's Apprentice. So, I've said before, this guy is combo-rific. He combos great with the Murder of Crows. I pay a colorless and a blue, I tap the Stitcher's Apprentice, I make a 2/2 homunculus token, and then I have to sacrifice a creature. I sacrifice the token. Hey look, Murder of Crows kicks in. I may draw and discard. Yay. Traitorous Blood. I steal my opponent's creature. I swing with my opponent's creature. Is it still alive? Cool. I pay a colorless and a blue and tap Stitcher's Apprentice. I make a 2/2 homunculus token and sacrifice your creature. Here you go. It goes in your graveyard. Have a day. Kid science. Fun stuff. What you're not seeing that was in the deck, I had a Runecatcher's Pike in the deck. That was nice with the number of instants and sorceries that are in the deck. I had a Manor Gargoyle, the 4/4 defender. That's indestructible so long as it has Defender, and you can pay 1 colorless to make it lose Defender and gain Flying. That guy's pretty nice. He saved my bacon in a couple of games, won me a game or two. He's really awesome. I also had Charmbreaker Devils. Charmbreaker Devils could do evil stuff in this deck, because during your upkeep you're getting a randomly chosen instant or sorcery from your graveyard back to your hand. So Charmbreaker Devils had a lot of nasty potential. I could get Dissipate back from my graveyard. Yay, Counterspell Lock. You know? Runic Repetition back from my graveyard. Start recasting Silent Departure. You know, cast Silent Departure, cast it again. Okay, during upkeep, Runic Repetition comes back to my hand. I cast Runic Repetition, I get the Silent Departure back. You can do funk with that. Traitorous Blood, you get the Traitorous Blood back. Steal another opponent's creature, sacrifice it. Using the Stitcher's Apprentice. I mean, there's a lot of funk you could do with that. Unfortunately, what happened is the Charmbreaker Devil, I mean, he is 6 mana, he's high on the mana curve. That number 1 is a big strike against him, at least in you know, the limited format. He's awesome in EDH though. But so there is that problem. The other problem is, of course, the fact that he's got a 4 tough. He's a 4/4 creature. Now that's big enough to make him dangerous in and of himself, but not big enough to make him near impossible to deal with. Every time he hit the board, he would catch like a pair of blazing torches, or a burns, or like a devil's play to the face, or a smite the monstrous. Every time he hit the board, he stayed a maximum of 2 turns. He attracted removal like it was going out of style. Hold on a second. Gonna put the camera down here. Go grab my phone, which I left in the other room. There we go. And I got 2 text messages. Anyways, where was I? Oh, there I was. Gallery, look at my stuff. Okay. I had an Ophelia Drownyard, a Grimgrin, and a Creeping Renaissance in the sideboard. Grimgrin, I think I opened him relatively early, but I just didn't get enough good black to be able to play him, which is unfortunate. Let me sweep the remains of the deck aside. And there's my camera getting knocked over. There we go. But yeah, Grimgrin ended up being my keeper, because in my opinion he was probably the best card I had sitting there. You know? Sideboard, Bloodcrazed Neonate, Fear of the Bitten, Pitchburn Devils, Desperate Ravings. I really wanted to run the Desperate Ravings. I really did. Curse of the Pierced Heart. That's another one I want to run. Infernal Plunge. Not really a good card for the environment. Dream Twist. Nyeh. Black, I did have some interesting black hanging around. In addition to Grimgrin, I had a Vampire Interceptor, Mona the Unhallowed, Ghoul Razor, Markov Patrician, and Dead Weight. So I did have some solid black cards here, you know? I mean, the problem being, though, is that, hey, guess what, guys? I didn't have enough black to me, you know, to play it. white Paraceline and an urgent exorcism, whoopty flippin' D. Black, I grabbed an black brain fart. Green, grabbed an Orchard Spirit that was running around late because it's a playable card in green. I had no intention of going into green. I just grabbed it because there was nothing useful for me in the pack at that point. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to deny someone a decent filler card. Wreath of Geist was something I think I got like stuck with on a last pick. From the prize pool on this, I picked up an Affiliate Drown Yard, a Nevermore, and a Witchbane Orb. If I don't have a Nevermore in my my red, white, and blue EDH deck, one needs to go in. It's a nice little card. It basically sits there and says, yeah, I play Nevermore, you can't play your general. Yeah. So, second draft. Second draft was interesting. I had a deck with no rares in it. Out of one. The only rares I picked up in the draft, I picked up a Bloodline Keeper and a Kurin Outlaw, I believe it was, the 2/2 first striker that when it transforms becomes a 3/3 double striker that can only be blocked by like, with 2-3 creatures, something crazy like that, I can't remember. I ended up keeping the Bloodline Keeper. Yay. And I just dumped like my sideboard all over the place. Alright, there we go. So, what do I got here? What I got here is an amazingly solid, aggressive deck. Evasive creatures. I got 2 Invisible Stalkers and 2 Delvers of Secrets. That's nice. A Chapelgeist, 2/3 flying. Midnight Haunting makes instant speed, gives me a pair of 1/1 flyers. That's nice. Lantern Spirit, nice evasive creature. All sorts of fun, happy control elements in here. I had a Blazing Torch, 2 Claustrophobias, a Rebuke, 2 Bonds of Faith, which serve double purpose because most of my creatures in the deck are humans. So I'm like, okay, I can either arrest a non-human creature, effectively. Is it effectively arrest or effectively pacifism? Let me double check that. Alright, effectively pacifism. Or I can give one of my own dudes +2/+2. All well and nice. Inquisitor's Flail, nice buff card again. Moment to Heroism, not a bad buff card. It's not giant growth, but it does the job, you know? Frightful Delusion, yeah. Lost in the Mist ended up being reasonably useful. I'm not fond of Lost in the Mist. It was more filler card in this deck. I think its mana cost is a little bit... I mean, it's costed fairly, don't get me wrong, but it's still a little bit high on the mana curve for me to like it. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Fiend Hunter, there's a nice white control card that's also a creature at the same time. Yay. Abyssinian Priest. Yay. Stitcher's Apprentice. He was nice in this deck because, you know, Unruly Mob. Unruly Mob can get huge in very short order with a Stitcher's Apprentice on the board. 2 Doomed Travelers. That's also nice. Yeah, Stitcher's Apprentice. I make a 2/2 token, dude. I sacrifice the Doomed Traveler. I have a 1/1 flyer as well. It's nice. Demon Mail Hauberk, also a nice card. Works with the Doomed Travelers. So long as I'm not sacrificing Unruly Mob, if he's in play, he gets a counter. So yeah, there's some nice synergy going on there. First round, I pretty much ruffle stomped my opponent. Second round, I went up against Jan. I've mentioned him before. Jan's a really good player. Jan knows what he's doing. He's a good drafter. And it was a horrific battle. Game 1, he just plain outlasted me. I drew... Oh, here's another thing that you may not have noticed. This is 24 cards. I went 16 lands with this deck because my mana curve is really low. I've got 1 5-drop, 1 4-drop, and everything else is 3 or less. So I figured I could get away with 16 lands. I figured I could get away with it, and I did. But first game, round 2, first game against Jan, I had, oh dear, 9. When the game was over and he finally beat me, I had 9 lands on the board, 3 in my hand, and 1 in my graveyard that he milled me out of. 13 out of 16 lands in the deck had been gone through. And then at the end of the game, I picked up the deck and I looked at there's 1 land at the bottom, and my top 5 cards are my other 2 lands. And I'm like, really? Really? Oh, that irked me to no end. But it happens, you know. That's the nature of randomness. Clumping happens in random distributions. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. Period. Statement ends. Ideally, yes, you want your lands to be more or less evenly distributed. In actual application, it's not going to happen. I mean, it will happen sometimes, and other times it won't. That's life. That's randomness. That's why in constructed formats, people run mana fixing, land tutoring, stuff like that. That's why those cards that do that are considered really powerful, you know? So anyways, moving swiftly on, which usually means there's not going to be any swiftness involved. Whatever. Second match against Jan was also a horrible, grueling match. We entered the 5-minute warning. I ended up taking him down with an Invisible Stalker, with Demon Male Hauberk, and Inquisitor's Flail equipped on it, and then I dropped 2 Bonds of Faith on it in a moment of heroism and swung for the fences. Yeah, with 22 points of unblockable life-linked damage, that tends to stop people. That tends to stop them hard. We started third game. We went to rounds. No winner. I drew with Jan. Then I went up against Mox Dave. Well, I've mentioned him before. He's also really good. He was playing a mostly red deck, splashing white, very aggressive deck. And against him, my deck worked the way it was supposed to, just exploding out of the gate and just ruffle stomping him. The deck worked the way it was supposed to at that point, and I just hammered him fast and hard, and he was shocked at how badly I trounced him. But anyway, yeah. So there's that. Sideboard, I had a Bloodline Keeper, the Scourge of Kurin Pass, or what the heck it's called, Kurin Outlaw. That was the only red card I picked up in sideboard. I hate drafted the hell out of that thing, you know. I actually had a fair amount of playable black in here too. I was really tempted to run some of it, but my blue and white was just way too strong. Because like I got the Bloodline Keeper, Screeching Bat, which transforms into a 5/5 ground pounding a vampire. A Markov Patrician. I saw a second Screeching Bat going by. I really wanted to take it, but it was in the same booster pack as a Claustrophobia, and I'm like, no, I really want to play blue. I'm already heavily in blue. I've got like 2 Invisible Stalkers. Take the control card in the color you know you're playing. That was a tough decision to make, but it was the right decision, you know. That's right up there within the first booster pack. First pick, I took an Invisible Stalker over a Kessig Wolf run. And I knew that was a really, really dicey pick, because Stalker's really awesome, hits the board early, he wins games. Kessig Wolf run also wins games, but it's a very late game card. And as a first pick, that it's not bad, but it immediately throws you into 2 colors, red and green. And in my experience, red is a hard color to get good cards in. You know? So that's me. Ghoul Caller's Chant, not a bad card. Unburial Rites, nice little card. Rotting Fen Snake, it's serviceable, it's a decent filler card. Curse of Oblivion is damn near unplayable. At least in my opinion. It just doesn't do enough. It's usually a wasted card slot. In color, Curiosity, I didn't want to... When I was putting the deck together, I wanted to run that, but I didn't. And, you know, cutting that was a hard choice. Abby Griffin, you know, I cut that. I cut Stitch Drake. I cut Civilized Scholar. I didn't want to run the Makeshift Mauler because I didn't think I'd be able to make good use of them. Look, there's another Paraceline, whoop-de-doo. Sensory Deprivation, he was never in the running. Spectral Flight was not in the running. Fortress Craft was not in the running. I got a Naturalized and a Festerhide Boar. The Festerhide, I willingly hate draft with the Festerhide. I was just like, no. It's just like, it was late pick, there was nothing in the pack for me, and I'm like, that's a good filler card, if nothing else, you know? Prize pool. Now here's the fun thing. Shopkeep decided to throw a Zendikar booster into the prize pool for us. So, because there were only 9 guys in the draft, I only got 3 picks when I went in as first place. Yay! And I took the Zendikar pack, the Hinterland Harbor, and I think the Gutter Grime, maybe? I can't remember. And then when my pick came up again later, I picked like the Nevermore and the Blood Hall. Bullet Hall is actually seeing a little bit of competitive play, not much. It's like a one of in red-black decks, simply on account of the fact that, you know, it's a late game victory condition if there's a nasty stall. So this Zendikar booster, if you can see, it's not opened. I have no idea what's in it. We're going to find out right now. Watch me get janked. I'd like to not get janked, but I'm not going to wager on it. Hey, look, there's a foil glazing Glade Heart. It's not a good foil, but hey, you know, it's a foil. Rules tip for landfall. Full art mountain. Yay, Zendikar. An Electropotence for the rare. Okay. Enchantment, whenever creatures enter the battlefield near your control, you may pay 2 in a red. If you do, deals damage, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, it's a not quite as good version of Pandemonium or Warstorm Surge. Oh well. Ravenous Trap. If an opponent had 3 or more cards go into his grave from anywhere this turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Sejiri Refuge. Turn Timber Basilisk to 1 Death Touch. And on landfall, you can have target creature force target creature block it this turn if able. All well and good. Commons, turn Timber Grove, a Goblin Shortcutter, Caravan Herder, Guldra's Vampire, Umar Raptor, a Torch Slinger, Cliff Threader, Windrider Eel, and a Mold Shambler. So nothing spectacular there, you know. Nothing too spectacular. You know, a ho-hum rare, a ho-hum foil. I think the full art mountain has been the most exciting thing there. Oh, jeez. And the funny thing is, like, Zendikar's not even standard legal anymore, you know? So, oh well. So there's that. So, that's okay, though. I had fun. Got some stuff. Funk, blah, 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 etc., etc. Right? Alright, so Merry Christmas, fellas. If you've got any good cards for the holidays, hey, you know, feel free to, like, just throw them on. You know, just, you know, put it in the comments section or whatever. I'm sure everyone else who, you know, is subscribed to the channel would like to hear about it too, you know? But, whatevs. Alrighty, guys. Have a hoppy? Yeah, I can speak English. I really can. Have a happy holiday. Be good. Be well. Stupid cat says hi. Yeah, that's right. Cat must be the tastiest animal on earth because even it cannot stop itself from trying to eat its own flesh. Stupid cat. She's lucky I like her. Alrighty. Be good, fellas. Happy holidays. Hopefully there'll be some draft action next week to throw up as well. See what happens. Latest.